Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of Silhouettes. It's your host, Standard, but today with us we have a newbie. His name is Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
He's very weird. Today, we got some good stuff for you guys. Good new premise thing. But we're going to start off with Zach, because he wants to tell us about something special.
Yeah, very, very important news. Before we started recording, I saw that Atlas uploaded a video, and Morgana is now in Monkey Ball. I don't know why, but that's a thing.
Okay, so there's a new Monkey Ball.
And you could be Morgana.
I love me some Monkey Ball.
Alright. So that's cool, guys. That's right. Go get the new Monkey Ball if you want to be Morgana.
I just think that's an interesting thing that happened.
We're sponsored by Atlas.
We can't say that's illegal.
Guys, don't
illegal.
forget to buy the new edition Persona 100 Royal 2 with over 1,000 hours of new gameplay. An extra entire game.
That second part is
never
untrue.
ends.
It will not be new gameplay. Don't even lie to them. It'll be the same shit the third time around. But ignore that.
No.
Because today, we got something special.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to make a video game concept. We're not actually making a video game. I don't know how to
Now we're making a
code.
video game. Yep, we're making a video game.
What's a computer?
I don't know.
I don't know. What's logarithms, dude? What's C minus? Oh, wait, that's a grade.
That's the
My
grade I got in
average.
my computer science class.
Alright, so, I think a while back, we were talking about good game design, me and Zach. And we were talking about a choice game that we came up with. Because we love choices in video games. Doesn't everybody?
Sure do.
You guys like choices? Right?
Yes.
Love choices.
See,
My
they love
favorite thing
choices.
to do.
But the one thing I hate the most, and this is honest, this is from the heart, is when a game has fake choices. Don't do that to me.
It's fucked
That
up.
is terrible. I hate that.
I'm
So
looking
much.
at you, Call of Duty Cold War. I'll never forget. And you know what else I also don't like? This is coming off. I don't like when games, they have the choice wheel of what you're going to say, and you say something, and it sounds like nothing like what you picked.
Oh, yeah, like you're telling me Mass Effect.
Yeah, like I played Mass Effect, and sometimes you'd be like, yo, you shouldn't do that, is the choice I can pick. And I'm over here shouting like, dude, you stupid piece of shit. You get it? And
That's
I'm just
great.
like, that's not what I said. I hate that. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is come up with a concept. And the concept involves choices that branch off and have consequences. Can you all say that, class?
Consequences.
What does that mean?
Bad.
Okay, yeah, can you tell a little more?
Basically, it permanently affects the world in a bad way. And the shit that you does actually matters.
Incorrect. Consequence, the definition of consequence is technically only that your decisions have impacts.
Oh, really?
Yes, it doesn't
Yes.
have to be negative.
Consequence is
Oh,
not
shit.
necessarily negative.
It's just that it typically has a negative connotation. That's an English lesson for you. Anyways, for instance, in Fallout 3, you can choose to nuke a town. That town is nuked for the rest of the game. That is a consequence for your action. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, because sometimes it's kind of funny going back and seeing those people turn to ghouls. Am I morbid? No, it's really funny seeing all those people die. And so, we gotta make a
Absolutely
game
brilliant.
off of that, you know?
Off of the nuke or off of the choices?
Off of the choices.
Hey, nuke can be a choice.
Well, I stop at
To
one
nuke or not to nuke, that is the question.
Very important.
What the great ghoul Shakespeare said in our time.
So, you know what? I'm gonna start us off, and then we're gonna switch around a bit. What about we have Private McKenzie.
Private McKenzie.
The Space Force.
Oh my god.
He just joined the United Nations Space Force in the year 2245.
United Nations Space Command.
You can customize Private McKenzie completely. How he looks, if it's a he or a she or a they, it's whatever. It's your character. And the first choice, God, we're gonna be building a story at this rate, but that's okay. The first choice that I would say is what your unit is.
Like what you specialize in?
Yeah.
501st.
That is copyrighted. Good sir. I think.
You can't tell me what to do.
Zach.
Yo.
Come up with a unit. Doesn't even have to be realistic. You can say it's like goddamn space cowboys.
Oh, dude, I got a
You
great
mean
unit.
the Space Marines? I'm just kidding. I got one for you. Space snipers. Their entire gimmick is that they jump onto asteroids with really, really high-powered snipers and assassinate people on enemy ships with bullets.
We are not going to say what Space Snipers abbreviated is. Don't worry about it.
Dude.
Hey, does your character speak German by any chance?
Well,
You don't get it, Zach, but I'm not going to say it because that'll be not good for anyone.
okay.
I'll give us one. What about mechanic?
That's fucking
The
lame.
Mechanicus.
You got space
The
snipers and then mechanic.
Hey,
You think the Mechanicus are cooler than my space snipers?
we're building a game here, and I'm putting the goddamn choice in that I want. I want
Somebody
to be
wants
a
to be
mechanic. Yeah.
Okay. I got dude, giant space mechs.
That just sounds cooler than everything else. No one would want to be anything. A giant space mechs, but if you choose to do that, you're crippled.
Yeah, you
No.
can't
Only be in
fucking
the
walk.
No, you guys are thinking too small. You're the mechanic of the giant space mech.
Holy shit.
You have to help the pilot, and the pilot's name is Ozarka.
Jim.
Ozarka O'Hara.
Zarka O'Hara.
Yeah.
There's too many O's in that.
Exactly.
What about Zarka O'Hara?
No, it's
Ozarka water?
Ozarka O'Hara. Double O.
Okay, nickname could be Zarky.
Okay.
I will settle for that.
That's literally the dumbest thing I ever heard. But
Shut up.
All right. And you know what? Zarky is in a tough spot. They just got discharged from their space mech regiment under false pretenses. And it's your job to help them get back up.
What if you don't want to help them get back up?
Well, you can kill them and take their spacesuit and then masquerade as Zarky for the rest of the game.
Oh my god.
Oh, but if you think about it for a second, killing or helping aren't the only two choices you can make in that situation.
You could just leave. Just say
Fuck
fuck
the
you,
Space
Zarky.
Marines. Yeah,
And
dude.
then join the Space Marines. All right, let's go down a branch. All right, you guys.
For the Emperor,
You
brother.
guys want to kill Zarky? Do you want to help Zarky, or do you want to just leave and join something else?
Let's help Zarky
Yeah,
first.
Zarky's a good guy.
All right, so we're gonna help Zarky, and you know what? I'm gonna just narrate this, and then you guys are gonna make choices. That's what we're doing
Alright.
now.
All right, bud. Bet.
Let's see. You know,
Can we split into two beings?
you're thinking too far ahead. That comes later. Zarky gets a call. It's their one opportunity to get back into the damn space mechs, alright? Planet Purified Water is being attacked
My favorite.
by the Smiley Faces, a prestigious pirate gang. And the
Space
space mech unit on that planet is asking for assistance. from any available help. Zarky wants to go. Do you want to persuade Zarky? What do you want to do? You want to help them go? Want to make sure they don't go? You want to kill them right here?
Go. Dude, the smiley faces are strong, bro.
All the more reason. Let's go. Let's go.
We could slay the smiley faces.
Alright, lucky for you, Zarky's mech has a seat for a co-pilot. You guys hop in Zarky's Ender mech, Eldest Spark, and you launch forward towards planet Purified Water. You're
Is it just a ball of water? Question.
It's just a water bottle.
They're poisoning the water.
Just a water bottle.
It's a space station planet water bottle. All right.
That's cool.
And you're launching forward. Zarky says, "Damn it, boss, we got incoming." I don't know why he's calling you boss now, but damn it, that's your nickname. You got 3 smiley face pirates coming in on their Yu-Gi-Oh class destroyers.
Oh fuck! Not the Yu-Gi-Oh class.
Your Ender mech isn't equipped for this kind of combat. What kind of maneuver are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna do the 360 no scope and destroy all of their bridges.
Do you agree with this, Zach?
Yeah, he's gonna snipe the fuck. We're gonna snipe the fuck out of him.
You do a wild 360 no scope maneuver, and then bam! It turns out you were the trap card all along, and you take out the Yu-Gi-Oh class mechs.
You thought you said they were destroyers.
They're what? They're
dead.
cards. They're goddamn cards. And they're burning now. And then
I'm going to say based over their corpse.
And then you see you're entering Purified Water's habitat. Do you want to land on the side of the water bottle? Or are you just gonna do something else?
We're gonna land on the water
on
bottle.
it, I guess.
You land on Purified Water bottle's plastic landscape. And Jesus, it's hell down here, Zarky says.
How am I breathing?
The suit makes oxygen sponges. Then you eat the sponges to gain oxygen.
What?
It's the future, damn it.
Yeah. dude.
Doesn't that mean I have to be like shoving it into my mouth constantly?
You look around on Purified Water surface, and smiley face pirates have just laid siege. There's just entire military forces coming. Is that a horse? That's a flying horse.
Yeah.
There is a flying horse in the McDonald's sky.
Why is this guy McDonald's?
Because we need product placement.
Uh-huh. Ish. Sponsored by McDonald's.
I can't wait to play the next medieval game and be able to grab a Coke. Like I'm in medieval combat and I just go, tasty. Coke.
Next Coke commercial. Alright, what do we got here? Oh yeah, the horse spots you, bro. It don't like you.
Oh.
Because your Ender mech kinda looks like its mom. And the horse hates his mom.
Oh, shit.
And so this horse goes swole mode, grows 5 times its size, and calls forth the ghost of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, fuck.
Can I flip the horse off? Is that a choice?
You flip the horse off, and that only enrages the horse further. It does the fusion dance with Abraham Lincoln
Oh, God.
to become Abra-horse Hoofkin.
Just stab it.
Oh, I have a great idea.
Yes.
Where's the smiley face capital ship?
That's the thing. There was
I'm
no
gonna
ship
point
all
at it
along.
and yell, "Yo, It's your mom at the horse.
The horse looks over to somewhere, and it spots smiley face Yu-Gi-Oh class Super Destroyer.
Oh.
Then it's like, no, that's not my mom. That's my dad, dipshit.
Can I punch it in the face now? Wait, this isn't a video game. I think we've gotten a little off track.
This is exactly a video game. This is the opening level.
Level 1. This is a tutorial.
This is the tutorial.
I don't believe that in video games I can just yell, "Look over there,"
That's one of the
unless it's in a
options.
dialogue box, yo.
That is indeed one of the options. Damn, my chair's making a lot of noise.
Damn.
Nah, I fixed it. Don't worry. Shut up. Shut up. Did I say
Dude,
you could talk?
shut up. You don't edit this, stinky.
Did you just use stinky as an insult?
Stinky.
What were we even doing? That's right, we were making a video game. And we made the tutorial level of DEFCON 76, Zarky's Brave Adventure with Private Mackenzie 2, The Reckoning.
Let's go.
Now we're going to get back on track. I had a little too much fun with that. What were we doing? We were making a game. An
Yes,
actual
making
game.
a
We were
game.
actually trying. I don't know. What kind of game would you guys make?
I
mean-
would make an open world game. I'd make it about one of three things, and all of them are going to be either heavily action or exploration focused. I would make one about my favorite movie, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I would kill to be able to play a game in that world. I would make one about, a little D&D session called Falling Stars.
Trademark.
I'm sure none of you have heard of it before. Laney. And I would make the third one, quite simply, about World War One. I would kill for an actually really good shooter about World War One. I played for instance Battlefield 1.
Yeah,
I've
that was
played a
good.
couple of others, smaller ones, like Verdun and Tannenberg, and they're not. I don't know, something about them feels off to me.
I like Battlefield 1. That's a spicy one.
Scoop.
Well,
But it ain't exactly the most authentic experience.
yeah, well, I don't want to die in a trench with dysentery, okay?
I do.
What
Yo,
about
sign
you,
me
Zach?
up for that.
Don't
I would
fuck.
probably make, it would definitely have a lot of choices and shit. But it'd probably be like an RPG, and I would probably want some sort of procedural generation type stuff to make it feel very unique in each run.
Honestly, I would probably make a. I'm thinking I would make it myself personally an action RPG. Sort of semi-non-linear. I'd say a couple branching paths here and there, but really focused on the story and the combat. So the two things I would want to focus on.
Good combat is very important.
Good combat is extremely important. I say for the sake of podcast coherence, we're going to make a game. Let's stick with Laney's idea. Action RPG with a heavy emphasis on story and combat. Now, what does this have to do with decisions, my friend?
First, I would include a character creator.
But of course.
And I'd put the character creator with a bunch of backgrounds, maybe, to help set the story area. Maybe you get yourself decent. I'd put sliders and stuff, or maybe just take the best of character creators and push it in there. Because I hate simplistic character creators where it's just phase 1, phase 2, phase 3,
Yeah,
phase
that shit
4.
sucks.
Yeah.
I prefer the stuff where they let you do the sliders and stuff to mold how the face looks. I'll do that. Make some wacky characters.
Oh, wait, first, what's the art style? What are we going for here? Art style is very important in the game, despite what every major FPS release
I think it
will
would
tell you.
depend on the tone. I think on this one, I do a lighthearted, cartoony style. a very comedic tone.
3D?
Yeah, I have it be 3D.
Yeah.
Sort of like 3D cartoony style. Sort of like maybe like Ni no Kuni.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like, that's like Ghibli, like, yeah, cartoony.
Yeah, like a. It feels like a living, breathing manga panel or anime or something like that, or just a cartoon, with a vibrant, colorful art style. Just a lot of bright colors,
Yeah.
And I guess it would need a premise as well. Maybe like, I don't know what a good, decent, lighthearted premise would be. I don't play many of those games anymore.
Oh my goodness. Well, a lot of simple games are pretty lighthearted if you're looking for something along those lines. But being simple doesn't mean you have to like get rid of most of the story essentials. It just means you're, more to the point. It's less about the, say, intrigue or lore as it is about the fun. If you're making a lighthearted game, in my opinion.
I
So
think
the story should be fun,
I think there'd be points of the story where it gets pretty serious. Not like it just completely tosses the tone out, but it doesn't stay lighthearted all the way through.
Main character a wisecracker?
No, I think I'd go for a sarcastic main character.
Oh boy.
Sarcastic main character. Here, we're gonna build the supporting cast now. We'll have a tall,
Muscular. I'm just kidding.
bulky, introverted dude.
All right.
Okay. Interesting.
Sounds about right. One trope already considered.
Yeah, we'll have him be the classic. There'll be
The
two
tank.
childhood friends for the MC. He'll be one, and another kid.
Token girl.
No, it'll be another boy
Oh.
Nice.
to start off with, because it's always a boy and a girl with the MC. No, not give
Yeah.
two dudes. The other one will be, I think maybe like a little short and chubby. And you know, he'll be the comic relief. He'll be the wisecracker that the MC is always being sarcastic towards. So the MC is sarcastic towards everybody in this.
So the main character's punching bag is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
And throughout their journey of whatever they're doing, I don't know yet, they'll meet.
Jim.
They'll meet a wide variety of one-off characters. Maybe like a crazed, homeless
Gnome.
veteran who actually holds like the keys to heaven.
Fuck.
Yeah, we're gonna do some like Undertale style humor. It's just completely random, and yet somehow it still fits in the world, like Undertale and Earthbound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Earthbound, definitely.
We'll have an alien invasion of these tiny little puffball creatures that are here to steal your candy.
Bro. Not my candy.
Alright, that's the limit I have so far. Anybody else got anything?
One thing I think, is there going to be an established antagonist?
I wonder. I think there'd be a conflict over an antagonist. And I think I'd have that conflict being the relationships between the main character and the side characters. I think that would be important throughout the entire game. That's where most of your choices lie.
Mm.
And
Well,
we'll need an inciting event that sets them on the journey to discover all this stuff.
you'll need an event, but if the event, if it's just one event, you might make it might make less and less sense for them to stick together if they're having conflict with each other, unless they're still being unified by something.
I think the event is they're all trying to, it should start off with something wacky, but then it gets really serious. Any ideas?
Well, as far as wacky but really serious goes, would our characters grow up in like a village, small village, that kind of thing, or would they grow up in like a city?
We'll have them grow up. We'll have it set in like a futuristic setting, and they grew up in a. It'll be like Gravity Rush if you heard of that game, floating cities.
Yes.
It'll be blimps. The cities will all be on these massive blimps that are moving throughout the world.
Oh,
I have an
like
idea.
really big blimps?
Yeah, just huge,
Like city blimps.
city blimps. Yeah.
You know where this story could start? In a circus.
The circus.
The circus. You said wacky, right? Can't get much wackier. They're gonna either get lost or something's gonna happen to them at the circus. Then later, a little later, they find out we gotta go.
They have to make money to get the circus back on track. And going around the
So they
city, finding all these odd jobs. And these odd jobs seem disconnected at first, but they're all based around the same thing. And that leads into the actual conflict. The secondary, their relationship with each other will be a secondary conflict. You know what? We'll
Yeah.
have, like, the whole alien invasion thing will be really tiny. It'll be like a singular midget ship with like 4 of these
Yes.
furry creatures that are just stealing candy.
That
And
sounds perfect.
it'll be a side quest. You'll only notice it because, like, if you have candy items, occasionally you'll see an item disappear. And if you don't notice that your candies are disappearing, you can't even start the side quest.
Yeah. You like spot like a little critter just fucking bouncing
Yeah.
around.
Alright, I like this. I like this setting. But now I need a serious conflict. This is gonna sound pretty cliche, but you know what? We'll have the blimp be actually attacked.
Yeah.
Bye.
Another blimp.
No.
This one is huge and massive.
Like
Magic
two
uses
times.
in this
All
world?
these blimps were built off of communities, split off from, let's just say, back in the past, there was a massive cataclysm that turned the planet into a gas giant. There is no more
yeah.
land. And some of these blimps grew up in the, what's it called, altruistic communities, and some of them more selfish and militaristic. And this one blimp, as you actually see it dragging other blimps behind it, it's conquering and taking over blimps.
Oh boy.
And in the chaos of this event, any blimp it cannot take or it finds enough value in, it destroys.
Lets it sink.
It lets it fall to the center of the gas giant, and that is a horrible death.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's doing to this blimp. And our main characters just barely make it onto the massive blimp and all the blimps following it because of one of the characters they helped by trying to make money. Alright. And this event will happen, I'll say, a little over a third way in the game to where you can make a decent connection with this opening world.
Yeah.
And then it'll be destroyed. And now you're in this much bigger open world area between these multiple blimps. And now you're trying to figure out why this blimp formation is doing this, who's in charge, and how to stop them.
I have an idea for an antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Doomsday cult that's trying to say. You said you wanted to get like a little serious, right?
A little serious.
How much is a little? How much is a little? Because I think my idea might have been a little too serious.
I think instead of a doomsday cult, it should be. Let's go for something a little less. Like that. Let's try a singular person.
Yeah, because my idea was that there's like a doomsday cult, militaristic doomsday cult who believes they hold salvation, and anyone who submits to them, they'll like save.
I feel
For
like
some reason.
that could be a joke. Like there's this cult of like 3 people in the sewers,
Yes.
and they're
That's
like,
great.
we hold the truth of the world.
The end is nigh. The end is nigh. One guy, huh?
I think more like a, we'll go a bit standard. We'll say it's like a corporation that managed to
Shinra
survive.
Corporation?
That managed to survive the fall of the world,
Yeah.
and we had a corporation. We'll say like
Does magic exist?
a military sect. Like if you play Fallout, like the Enclave,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
from the old world, and they aren't adapted to the new world.
Mm.
And that's just the way that their blimp grew and formed into. And they believe that only the ones that provide value to the original society deserves to
live.
still be active. And they're trying to rebuild the old world by any means
By
necessary.
putting blimps together?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's the main conflict, and that leads to all this other stuff. And sure,
know-
I think this section would get pretty dark sometimes, but we can't lose sight of the original tone. There'll still be some
Yeah.
moments here. I feel like the soldiers we can have stupid soldiers that are goofy and stuff,
Yeah.
I'm sensing a disturbing lack of strong women.
And you know what else? The philosophies of the 2 friends to the MC, they're all different. There'll be situations where you get in where one friend might be like, we should not do this. And the
Yeah.
other one is like, no, we have to do this. Maybe like helping someone, or staying hidden, or going out. Or even maybe one friend secretly thinks that the villains are right.
Yeah.
And over the course of the story, you realize that this friend, I don't think I would say it's not a guaranteed betrayal, but depending on the relationship you have with him in a certain point in the game, he'll either stick with you or go with the villain.
Mm.
And I think at this point we'll also get maybe 1 or 2 more companions.
Yeah, companions sound nice.
Maybe like an outcast from the military sect. A really old, grizzled war vet who's slightly insane. And by slightly, I mean very insane.
Oh God.
He talks to himself often. And
Come on, Johnny. Come on, Johnny. Come on, Johnny.
a motherly figure runs some kind of sweet shop.
Who also has a battle axe. Wait.
And she'll be from one of the blimps that were taken over. Because I don't want any romance. There's no romance in this game.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
It's branching,
You can have
but it's still sort of linear a little
You
bit.
can have a character of the other sex and not have a romance.
Hmm?
You can have a character of the other sex and
I know,
not
but
have
I'm
a
saying
romance.
that's why I'm not putting any female characters their age. They would still ship the male characters. You know what? That's okay.
You can't stop it.
I
Yeah,
can't
what happens
stop
happens.
anything,
Point in avoiding
but I
it.
can limit it.
It won't help.
I just,
But anyway,
whatever. Maybe there'll be romance in it. Right now, I don't care. But what I do know is that I want these 3 boys, a motherly figure character, and a superbly crazy war vet.
oh yes.
And you know what? Tacking on to the motivation of the villains, they weren't always like this. There was a previous blimp war that they were survivors of. And let's just say, right now, there's barely any blimps left. Let's just say there's like less than 20. And there used to be maybe hundreds
Thousands.
or thousands. And some people get the bright idea to do some, forcibly uniting. Some blimps were more well off than others. Some had more money, more weapons, more food. And instead of sharing, they're deciding to take and do all this and that. And these blimps go from thousands to hundreds. Then, a couple of decades pass, and then another one happens. And now we're left with less than 20.
Yeah.
And these people, they're tired of no one helping each other, so they're just forcing it on it. And they have basically become what they sought to get rid of.
Yeah.
That's the premise. Give a name to the leader of this military sector, whatever. And then while all this is happening, you're trying to solve this, free the blimps, cut off the blimps from the main blimp so they can go on their own again. And I think there should be like a defining moment. Like what's it called? A big consequence moment. Like that leads to a fundamental change in the entire world again.
You think it might be by the world, do you mean the planet or just the blimp city?
I think currently just the blimps.
Well, in that case, what if you accidentally shoot one down? What if you accidentally shoot the big one down and all the others are still attached?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that could work.
Not only would you kill a ton of people and get rid of the bad guys, but you're going to take a lot more with you. A lot more.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Be a fucking criminal.
I also feel like another moment involving if your friend does betray you, he tells about, let's just say there's a blimp that's trying to help you get away, and the military sect decides that this blimp isn't worth keeping on, and they destroy the engine of it and cut it off and let it sink like before. And then you lose an entire section of your open world again.
Yeah.
Would that be punishing the player too much if they don't keep a good relationship with his friend?
Nah, I think it's like... Because you wouldn't really know at the beginning, and then when it happens, you're like, holy shit.
Well, but I think there should also be some hints, because leaving the player totally in the dark and the punishment being, like, total cut off of access from the world you've been exploring, it's pretty harsh.
Well, it would just be a part of like a section, like a district, technically, despite it being a whole blimp.
They would need some, like, little cues that, like, he's not completely on your side.
I think it'd be obvious that, he's being pushed away from you. And I feel like throughout if you have a really bad relationship with him, you'll start to see him actually not being with you more often.
Yeah.
And then eventually there become a mission where you follow where he goes one night. And you see that he's exchanging information with one of the soldiers. Mm-hmm. And maybe you can also have like a choice to either lay low or confront him right then and there.
Yeah.
And then that also has a big choice.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think this would end? Are we getting too far ahead? I think we're getting too far ahead. We're not. Let's hit.
Say something.
Yeah.
Probably end with either the blimps separating or the blimps staying together, to be honest, or the blimps all being destroyed. But that's kind of dark for a light-hearted experience. Or maybe you discover something below the clouds. I don't know. No one ruled out the possibility of that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Alright, so let's get to if we go down the path of the friend betraying you. This will be a little bit past the halfway point. Let's just say they cut off that blimp. I need to find how many blimps would be a part of the conglomerate.
Yeah.
Let's just say in total there's 18 blimps left. Used to be 19, but then yours got destroyed. And we'll say... How big would I want this world to be? We'll say there's 7 blimps in total currently on the conglomerate. You know what?
Gotcha.
You know what there should be?
What?
Blimp on blimp combat. There should be like a
Yes.
sections where, at least that would be a good final section.
Oh yeah, that'd
You're
be cool.
controlling a whole blimp, battling the military blimp.
Yeah.
It'd be like a pirate ship battle.
You
But
know,
flying.
how do these people get water?
Probably by converting the hydrogen in the air.
Oh, yeah, fair. I have an idea then. What if one of the biggest parts of the game was finding natural water?
We could do that. I have another idea. And this can also play into the story, but also just the effects of the world. This is a gas giant planet, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
What about storms? Because
That would-
storms
they would be
are
terrible.
huge and terrible. And that could be another sort of threat in the background, like that you can see off in the distance. You know, maybe in the beginning it's mentioned, you know, hey, on the radar, I heard that there was a new storm forming, you know.
Yeah.
And throughout the entire story of the game, this storm is getting closer and closer. You can actually see it in the world getting closer. And near the end, it's right up on you.
Awesome.
Another thing, I don't know if we're doing too many mechanics, but I think maybe, let's just say at one point, depending on your actions, you can actually take a blimp and split off of the conglomerate.
I was thinking
maybe-
about that. You could
or
start
maybe
your
I
own
sh-
blimp.
Maybe that'll be like an actual, that'll be the end game portion. We're in the
Yeah.
final half. You
Yeah,
don't
getting an
destroy
airship
the
is...
yeah, you don't destroy the
Getting-
conglomerate. I'm sorry. You talk.
Getting an airship is really kind of a hallmark of a lot of late game RPGs.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII comes to mind. You get that airship around like near the end of the game, and you can just go anywhere on the map you want.
And in this section, the gameplay is a bit more different. It's more city building focused. You have to keep your blimp up and running. This is more resource management and stuff. And this also will introduce blimp combat.
Yes.
And let's just say, you know, there's these maybe smaller blimps that can detach off of your main city blimp to collect, like, resources, like special, I don't know, air,
Yes.
special gas that you need for, and they get sent off.
Special materials.
And those will also be combat sections where these mini blimps are trying to raid your blimp. Because this conglomerate isn't the only bad
Yeah.
stuff. You know, maybe there's tinier blimps of like small communities, maybe like a couple houses and stuff that aren't full on cities either.
Blimp pirates.
I like this setting. This should be an actual story. We should write this down.
This is great.
I mean, we got. We're
yeah.
gonna have it archived.
That's right. This will be recorded.
I think that I have a cool idea then. There should
Yeah.
be an island below like a heavy clouds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, it's land, like actual land. Your players can go there and see it, but it's a lie. The land itself is not a lie, but it's propped up. It's not real land. It's propped up by gigantic propellers.
Oh shit.
Like your character would get to see water for the first time. Like actual flowing natural water. It'd be mind blowing.
It'd be like on like a mega blimp.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
It could be-
Mega
it could-
blimp
it
below the
could-
clouds.
It could be like this land is like a mythical thing. This mega blimp in history. Maybe the people there aren't even alive anymore, but its engines are so powerful it's just been running and around.
Ancient blimp.
An ancient blimp
Yeah.
from when they were first created. And let's just say it's from like a project where they were trying to rebuild land with the blimps instead of just making the cities. They're trying to rebuild
Yeah.
whole continents. And this blimp, this is gonna sound insane, but this blimp is like the size of like half a country. Let's say like half the size of the United States of America.
Dang.
Which is huge.
No, that sounds awesome. There should be like roads on it too, like decrepit roads.
Yeah.
And yeah, and broken down cities and stuff. This is a failed project. And I feel like the opening scene, when you first see it, you see like these trees and stuff, and you're like, is that land? And then the clouds break apart, and you see these destroyed buildings, and you're just so confused on what this is. And at first, you think it's just a part of land that's left. You've been lied to. And maybe you land on it, and you go and explore, and all while you explore this, you hear this loud sound. That sounds like an engine running. And you get closer and closer to the center, and you see just these massive propellers the size of your blimp on the side of the island.
Dude, are there animals living there? It should be overrun with nature.
There probably would be. This was the one of the first experiments of making artificial land, because the blimps would just be complete city. All the life, like the trees and stuff, are planted in these pots and stuff. But this is all. It seems all natural. There's probably mountains on here, and rivers, and lakes, and the water pours off the side into the center of the core.
What story significance would it have, though? That's what I'm trying to ask.
I feel like this would be the spark of having a community again, like a whole. This would be the piece that could unite all the blimps again.
That's very true. That's very true.
And now it just depends on who can take control of this. Just whoever does that will be leading the foundation of the new world.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
This
all sounds very awesome, but continue.
You know what else we could do?
What?
The wildlife on this blimp is not like Earth wildlife.
Yeah.
It's artificial. And there could be like these strange predators that have adapted to the environment. We can come with some wacky stuff. Maybe like something that like camouflages within the clouds.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Some flying stuff.
What about the first hint to there being this land is in a section when you're on your blimp and you're going through some of the thick clouds. Your blimp gets attacked by these winged creatures.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a horror section. But they're coming out of the clouds. You have to fight them off in your blimp combat. And when it's over, you're like, there's no way these things have to replace the land. And maybe your first idea is, maybe another blimp got overrun, did some experiments or something.
Yeah.
You guys got any ideas for the additional part?
I feel like the Cradle of Humanity is actually a really good name for the evil organization of this story.
Probably.
Because they're literally cradling humanity.
Yeah.
But you already took that for Tethered.
Well, we have to work on this setting more. I feel like we could do a lot with this. It sounds like a very good idea.
It does. Oh yeah, once you get the continent, you defeat the BBEGs. There's a happy ending. I'd assume so. It's lighthearted.
I guess the end of this could be finding the continent. We can have some DLC or something.
Oh yeah, leave room for a sequel or something.
And pave way for the sequel.
Gotcha. This one, you go to the core. You would die, but you do.
One thing
fucking die.
I think we should do, like throughout the world, would be like pieces that show pre-gas giant formation. Hints to how this all happened instead of just leaving it blank. But not like where it fully tells a story, but where it leaves it. It's like pieces that let you connect and form your own theories on what happened.
Yeah.
And I think, since we said there was a lot of blimps at the start, some of the blimps that you see floating around are just empty derelicts that are just running on their last leg.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, maybe some of these large blimps are taken over by a group of like 20 pirates. and they use it for big ship combat.
Yeah. How do blimp escape pods work? Like, how do you abandon a blimp?
Mini blimps on the blimp.
Mini blimps.
Then you can form the mini blimps together to make a bigger blimp, like a puzzle.
Or maybe, since, maybe there's still a similar versions of, like, jets and stuff, or, like, quick travel between blimps that used to happen. Like a steampunky looking jet. Scraps. It's, like, made of trash and stuff.
Yeah.
And it can't fly for long, but it can go alright and come back.
Nice.
And you know what?
That sounds...
Just to have a nice blimp mini boss, there should be like a just completely war modified blimp that you can an optional fight.
Like a secret boss.
Yeah. Maybe in the storm. This blimp's been using the storm as cover for decades, since gas giant storms last for centuries.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to go in there unless you're trying to hide from someone.
Yeah. Ooh.
They're probably filled with pirate bases, when I think about it. Big storms on a gas giant.
Yeah, and then we can have the secret twist. You're actually not on Earth. What happened was some sort of colony experiment.
I would assume that you wouldn't be on Earth. I thought it was a completely fictional world. I thought magic was actually a part of it for a second. Is it?
I don't think magic's a part of it.
Yeah.
It's just sort of advanced technology. But who knows what happens in the sequel?
Blimps too.
That's when we get real crazy. The sequel with all the magic mumbo jumbo.
What would the name of the game be?
It's a good question. That is a good question.
Hindenburg. I'm just kidding. It would be
Clouds below us.
What?
Clouds below us.
Yeah.
Is that ours? Huh? No?
No, that's good. I'm just trying to think of something. But my brain's having a hard time, thinking of it.
Yeah.
I think for now, that's all I could think of. Is like, that. I had an idea for like a title screen though. Like it'd be really cool.
Endless Sky is probably already the name of some game.
It's the name of a space franchise. There's Endless Sky 2.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But for like the
You
title
could call
screen.
the game Boundless. That's
Boundless.
Yeah. I can't find. Okay, there is one video game named Boundless.
Boundless Immigration.
It's an MMO sandbox game.
Boundless on
Of course.
Steam.
Released in 2018 fully.
What was your title card idea, Zach?
Well, when you boot up. Well, I have an intro, like a intro cutscene, and also what you would boot the game up and what you'd see. So like the intro cutscene, I'm not sure like how the world would have transferred into a gas giant, but you would see like the world as like a normal planet, like solid, and then you'd see it like fucking just turn into like the gas giant, and you'd see like the blimp start flying off, and then slowly seeing like civilization grow into like into what it becomes.
Yeah.
And
like
then
an overlay of like Last of Us, like news articles talking about.
Yeah. But for the title screen, it would be like, so it'd be like you'd see like the giant gas giant, so like the giant gas planet, and you'd see like all the blimps flying around, and then depending on what point in the story you are, so say like you fucked up and one of the blimps like crashed, they knocked one of them off, you'd see like the remnants of it in like getting sucked into the middle when you load up next time if you like save right there.
Oh, it'd be so cool. Like
cut.
when you in the first screen where you can just seamlessly load in is in the beginning. It's the blimp you start on with, the circus blimp, whatever. When you're at the main section, it's the conglomerate of blimps.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even let's just say like a war out, like a violence outbreak happens, you're in a section where like there's an uprising on the conglomerate blimp. If you were to get off then and load it in, you can see the conglomerate blimps on fire.
Oh yeah, that'd be
You
cool.
hear
So.
gunshots in the background too, probably.
Yeah, like fighting, explosions.
And then I would say, of course, if when the blimp falls down, you'll see the blimp is missing.
Yeah,
From
you
that.
see one missing.
And you're in game, you see your blimp flying through the sky. And if you beat the game and you come back for New Game Plus, you would see the continent blimp just encompassing most of the screen.
That'd be really cool.
Yes.
Oh, now I want to play this now.
Yeah, I wanna,
too.
dude. I might fucking start doing Unity.
Oh God.
I would play this in many forms.
Sounds so cool.
I need to
It
start.
does sound really cool.
I need to start working on this. The least I can do is turn this into a short story, or something.
That is the absolute least you can do, honestly.
Like, we're gonna do something with this. You know, it could be like a D&D setting.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna make this work. But a Cloud Below Us, I actually don't really like. I want something. If I could just find something that's like 2 words at most, or just 1 word.
Yeah.
Among Us? I'm just kidding.
Among Us? Among Us?
Alright, 2 words you said. Or short, in other words.
Oh, just something that rolls off the tongue, like a No
Short and
Man's
sweet.
Sky.
Yeah.
I have an idea. What color do you think this gas giant would be? Like just
I
off
was
the top of your
imagining
head.
as orange.
Yeah, I think like
Orange.
orange or red, something like that.
Orange. I mean, it'd be a multiple colors. It's a gas giant. So let's just orangey red.
Probably
know.
some areas that are different, like blue, maybe even a little hint of green in the sky sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's still night and day,
Ooh.
so
Yeah,
There would
yeah.
be such a nice section in the story, maybe like a cutscene where you're flying above the clouds and you can see the stars.
yes,
Slightly.
of course. I think this is slipping away from like comedic in tone, honestly. Like you said, at first it was lighthearted and
I
stuff.
think we should strip the wholly comedic and just have it be a what's it called? Is it whimsical? No.
Whimsical.
What? Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. You know, where in sections it's beautiful, in other sections it's dark.
Hmm.
This is just a pure adventure.
Opening it up for romance? Huh? I'm just kidding.
And you know what? We'll have aging throughout the game. You and your characters do physically age. Maybe we'll have the classic time skip after your blimp crashes and you've lived on the conglomerate for like a few years now. And then once you escape and have your own blimp, you're like a full adult now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll do that too. And that also dictates the tone. Like, the first half won't be pure lighthearted, but it'll be more calm and sweet. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
But it won't be, like, purely sweet. You'll still see the hints of that underlying dark tone that's there. Your opening blimp is nice, but it's not perfect. Maybe people complaining about food shortages or the water filter not working.
Yeah. I think that this title does not roll off the tongue, but I just like it. I kind of like it.
What is it?
Like Tales of a Landless World or something like that.
Huh.
Or Tales from a Landless World.
Or you could do like
That's
a
what it
landless
is.
world.
Yeah.
That might be too. I don't know. Maybe the Tales of would be better.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Huh.
Huh.
I have
That's villagers. When I enslave them for my sand farm. What, Laney?
Scarlet's,
You have it?
Scarlet's Gloom.
Scarlet?
Scarlet's gloom. Like scarlet's like the color of most of the clouds you encounter. Gloom is darkness for when like storming and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You mean like Scarlet's or just Scarlet?
Scarlet like possessive. Scarlet's gloom.
Okay. Gotcha.
What do you think of that?
I mean, that sounds good, but it doesn't connect as much to the landless part. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm trying to think of like a sort of like something focused on the clouds and the scenery around you.
Oh, I got you.
Might have to shelve the. No, I want to come with the title before this is over. At least a working title.
You'd also, like, if you want a first title, you'd also need it to think of some way for it to work with a second title. We don't need to make a second title yet, but, like, some way for it to have another title.
Yeah. You know what else we should probably do? We should probably name these characters.
Endless Haze?
I think I like that. But... The Endless Haze.
Of course.
Just because Endless Haze is a song.
Oh, really?
Name the characters, huh? Well, your OC Do Not Steal can be named anything you want, pretty sure. Or are you going to do it to where you can customize them, but they have a set name?
You can customize your main character. You can even choose the gender if you want. We'll leave it at that. And you can choose a name. But the two childhood friends, those two dudes. The boys. I think I'll call the short and chubby one, like, Drew.
Drew.
Or Derek. I'm just thinking of D names.
I think I like Drew more than Derek.
Yeah, I like Drew more
Drew
as
and
well.
the tall and bulky one. I think he'd be the more... I think Drew would be the more cynical one, and the other one would be more compassionate.
Yeah, more compassionate, a little bit more, like, not shy, but, yeah, like, he's into him, like, close off.
He's like jockey, but he's not stupid. I don't want a classic...
Yeah, not a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe... I mean, just looking at your name, maybe just Benjamin.
Benjamin. Yeah, that can work. It could be Benjamin.
Drew and Benjamin.
My favorite guys.
And then we need to name the crazy veteran and the motherly figure.
The crazy veteran should be named Frederick, and you can't change my mind on that. Not Frederick as in how my name is spelled that you can see, like Frederick.
Frederick Freddy Bloom. Like Freddy is his nickname.
Yeah. I like that.
Freddy.
As for the motherly figure...
Samantha.
I feel like Anna has a motherly tone to it.
Anna?
It does.
Not Samantha.
How about Anna for short?
You ruined Samantha for me when you made Bamantha.
Dude, don't care about Bamantha, dude.
I hate that shit. I hate it.
Bamantha.
Yeah, we played this game, Monster Prom, and all of his characters' name started with B. But he would take a name that does not start with B and just replace it with B.
Bamantha.
What was the other one? There was another one.
I don't know if I did a Bessica, but I don't remember.
You did do Bessica. I remember that
Bessica.
one. I hated that. I hated all of them.
Hey, what about... Yo, Laney, what about Bobby?
Bob, stop. No.
Bobby. Barafin.
You know, honestly, you could do Anna Bobby.
Barley.
Anna Bobby. Like Anna
Actually,
hyphen Bobby.
I would like to make
I don't like the Bobby part.
a short mention that according to French rules of pronunciation, Marley should be pronounced Marley.
Okay.
Anyway, we were talking about the Endless Haze, right?
Yeah, we were naming all the core cast.
Yeah.
And now we're just... I think we stick with Anna. And
Anna.
Something last name. That's unimportant.
I want the
Just
main
call her Miss
villain
Anna. Yeah?
to be I got an idea.
I don't want him to be, or her, I don't want them to be overly evil.
I got an idea for a nice, cool boss fight ability, though.
Yeah.
They can control wind with, like, little turbines on their armor or suit. The very lifeblood of, what you're going on the blimps.
When you said that, I just imagined the dumbest suit, like on his shoulder pads. They have these two giant turbines.
No, that's not really what I
Like
meant.
in the armor, like a bunch of fans.
I'm thinking like if there was a boss fight between them, she'd be in like a suit with like a turbine on her back to let her or them fly up. I'm saying her.
That would be cool.
I'm imagining.
I'm leaning on a her too, to be honest with you.
But I think the relationship between the main antagonist and the main character should be a core thing as well.
Yeah.
For the middle
cool.
section. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
one of the side characters is also a part of her. During the time skip, they joined up in their military.
Yeah.
And that explains their connection to their side.
Yeah.
You know what? This reminds me of that one book, Mortal Engines,
Mortal Engines? What was that book about?
about flying cities as well. Well, not flying cities, moving cities. They didn't fly. They were on like tank tracks.
Hmm.
The movie did
Isn't it?
terrible.
Oh, really?
The movie did terrible.
Horrible. It was so bad that they're just not even getting a sequel, despite it being a book series.
But also I was like, it reminds me of that because I actually thought that they were flying. But no, they're just moving, and also it's just taking place on Earth. Earth is beautiful, but I think we could make this gas giant planet truly gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like that should be another point to focus on, the duality of it being horrifying and gorgeous at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
Like how ships
looking
fucking
over
dies.
this, there should be a scene maybe in the beginning on your first blimp, where like maybe you drop something over the edge and your character just looks down at the endless fall and the thick cloud. You can't see the bottom.
Yeah.
Mm.
There is no bottom. It would be amazing to just glide through it now, wouldn't it? On your blimp. Going somewhere. Not like you could fast travel, but I'd never use it if there was. Especially if the game looked as good as I'm imagining.
Honestly, I mean, we'd have to put
We don't have to put fast travel
No,
in the
I don't
game.
think I'd put fast traveling in because most of it, like the whole era, most of it's gonna be on you walking around. So maybe if there's fast traveling, it wouldn't be between you flying through the world, but I'd have it there between points on the blimp. But
Yeah,
if
like
you're
on
using the
city.
blimp to fly around, you won't be able to fast travel anywhere.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, because we have to make the open world, like, blimp, where you're flying with your blimp section, more interactive with stuff to do.
You should probably add anchor stations, floating stations that don't move. That would liven up the thing a little. Maybe you could even find a city that doesn't move; it just floats in place.
I think we should have a lot more blimps. I think maybe there was like tens of thousands at first, and now it's only hundreds. That way we can have pirate blimp combat to be
Yeah.
genuinely decent, and also sections you can visit. And I think while you're flying your blimp, when you're alone, you can see other NPC blimps also flying by. And you know what else? You can also see maybe a blimp being attacked by another blimp, and you can choose to help or not.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is going to take a lot of technology if it was a game. So right now I'm just thinking of it as a story. But maybe you can land your blimp next to another blimp and visit the other blimp by walking around and stuff.
That'd be
Yeah.
badass. Like, you hook up and fucking walk over.
Yeah, and there'd be like side quests and stuff. There'd probably be like generic side quests, but it'd be something. And maybe there'd be like certain like named blimps that have important side quests that span multiple quests.
Yeah.
It could also have a reputation system, or like factions and stuff.
Just like Fallout.
Yeah, or maybe when you escape from the military conglomerate, you're trying to build up your own sort of force in your own way, and you can choose to be like the military conglomerate itself, be what you fear, or you can choose to be more, gentle and form a council, be more democratic and stuff. And of course, there's pros and cons to each stuff. If you're a dictator, you get control over everything, but the people in your blimp and stuff probably hate you. And your relationship with your friends, the ones who stay with you, maybe the one who joined the military has superb respect for you now, but the other one, what's his name? Drew's the one who joined up with the military. He's no longer chubby. So. And Benjamin is the kind, compassionate one. That's what we said. And he hates.
It's even beefier.
It's either B or D. And I think we can probably include more companions as well. How long do you think this game would be?
40 hours.
Yeah, maybe like 40, 50, something
I
like
think it'd be
that.
longer than that.
Yep.
I think to complete the story itself, I'd want it to be at least 50 hours. I want there to be enough time for you to experience each section. Because if we're introducing the blimp flying system, I feel like you being on your regular blimp, it would still fly around. You can't control it in the early sections.
Yeah.
But I still want you to have enough time to enjoy controlling your own blimp. So they should all have their special sections of at least 15 hours each. I'm thinking, I have this as a headcanon, but Freddy's gonna die.
Freddy fucking dies.
No!
He's old, he's crazy. I feel like you form a connection. I feel like Freddy can go out a number of ways, depending on what you do with him.
Dies of a heart attack. Just,
Freddy's the type of guy to sacrifice himself for you.
Yeah, he runs into the enemy, blows
definitely.
himself up, destroys him.
Jumps into the turbine, kills himself to stop
Jesus
the
Christ.
conglomerate, and they sink.
Maybe when they cut off the blimp, you're on the blimp, and you have to escape when it cuts off, and you don't make it in time. And Freddy's there, and he gets you off just as it's falling. And you see him fall with the blimp.
No. Freddy. I got an idea for a companion.
Yeah?
A girl who built her own wings and is currently, you get her after maybe a side quest or just random, but she built her own wings, right?
Yeah.
And tried to go flying to escape her parents or her family or some other situation back home. But she got herself stranded and she's about to fall when you find her.
I like that as a side quest. That sounds like it'd be a really cool side quest. There's a chance if you're crossing over the blimp, you see this girl falling.
Yeah, but I think they'd be a companion too.
Yeah. You save them, they'd be an optional companion that has their own quest line. And if you choose to save her, you get additional stuff because she's an inventor. She builds stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That'd be really cool. That also a lot of extra stuff to do, especially when you're on your own, controlling your own blimp. Well, you've been going a long time on this.
It's good. It's a good idea.
I still got more. We can just the endless haze. I want to talk about more about the in-game the country blimp.
Country blimp?
Well, I think it has some sort of perpetual energy if it's been up for this long.
It has some special engine that the newer blimps don't have.
Yep.
Maybe it has some sort of... I have an idea. It would have to take place way in the future. But there's a concept of harnessing energy by using stars, right?
Yeah. If there was a little star in there, right?
And there's a little star, like a little neutron generator in the center. And it uses star energy, which could last millions of years. And that's what's keeping it
I don't
up.
doubt that.
But, yeah. I think we can do that. But, the legend... we need to give this blimp a name. Because I feel like this would be a legend that's prominent throughout the backseat of the world. You can hear NPCs talk about it. Maybe the main villain speaks about how maybe in the beginning, when I would assume you're like early teens, like 13, 14, in the beginning section, whoever your family is or whatever, or the circus, one of the stories they tell is about this mythical blimp that is the size of a country and is eternal. It's a children's story.
Yeah. A
It
legend.
could be called a couple of things. I'm going to go out on one limb and say that it could be called either Eden or Canaan.
I knew you were going to say Eden. I knew that for a fact. Because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Great minds think alike, I guess. Yeah, Egypt or Canaan. Canaan would probably sound cooler considering Egypt's like, Eden is like everyone knows already. But also Canaan isn't like exactly the name for the promised land. I just remember it being used that way a couple times, but it sounds cool.
You could do something like Nirvana.
Nirvana. That's a maybe.
Yeah.
It sounds a little too. It doesn't sound as much like a location as it should, though. More like a belief, a religious belief. Well, it is a religious belief, but it sounds like it's a promised land, as in like it doesn't exist and it's a spiritual place, which I guess is true, but I feel like people would have been speculating about it for a while.
We could do something special. The name of the game is the Endless Haze, which references the cloudy nature of the world. But the blimp, the country blimp itself, could also be called the Endless Haze.
Yeah.
Or maybe just called the Endless.
The Endless sounds really cool.
Because it's an eternal,
it's
an
so
eternal
fucking
blimp.
big, and yeah, it never goes down.
Not only does it never go down, but the amount of land on it is practically endless to these people.
Yeah, it's huge.
And I feel like the main reason that it's also uncovered is because it's actually flying really low.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
It'd be hell to get to it.
I feel like because the blimp elevation currently is the safest zone to be in. Because if I recall, the pressure and the actual storms below are intense and horrible down there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, above, there's basically no atmosphere. Can't breathe well up there. So
perhaps the continent has some little widgets on it that help regulate the atmosphere above it better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past it.
It's like in like this energy-filled bubble or something.
No, I think it'd be cool if there wasn't a bubble, because I want it to be like you go through the clouds immediately into trees, and that wouldn't be possible if there was like a big energy field around it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like instead of having the end just being discovered on the continent, there should be maybe a final battle on the continent that the conglomerate has broken apart, and now all that's left is the warship.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still exploring this basically the like 5% of this land. When you hear the sound of the warship, I assume it'll give off a special horn or something because it sees your airship docked there. And now you gotta send your airship itself to get to the controls of the Endless.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. A chase.
And like a race to the other side of the massive blimp. You're shooting the warship while shooting you. You can aim to damage its engines to slow. You can have your engines be damaged, get the commensurate repairs and stuff. Yeah. I'm really thinking about the world itself right now, because I really want to also talk about the storms. Because I would want there to be a massive storm that's a set piece, but also there should just be regular big storms that can occur, especially when you're piloting your own airship.
Yeah, you can run into some. Maybe they'll appear on the map radar like warning a storm ahead or something.
And storms have a high chance of bringing pirate attacks with them.
Hmm. Pirates are probably the ones who know how to weather a storm best compared to everyone else, because they have to live in them basically if they don't want to get chased off by a much bigger threat like the militarist faction.
What kind of secret bosses do you think there's have? I feel like if it's open world, there could be a lot of secret bosses in the world, different types of airships. I just forgot about one important thing:
Yeah.
airship customization. That has
Yeah,
to be a
upgrades
thing.
as well. Definitely need to be a lot of.
That's a given pretty
Not
much.
just
Yeah.
upgrades, but also cosmetics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one of them should be a ship with one guy and all his clones, just like the vault from Fallout.
That'd be cool.
Keep the
The
wacky
Steve
nature.
ship.
Yeah.
You're exploring and you're just going to different shop and you just see the same guy over and over. You're like, what's going on?
What the
And you
fuck?
get into the town square and it's just bunches of him.
And then you just scream like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, this is good. This is fantastic. This is such a. How come no one's done this before? I need to see this.
Because everyone only makes the same game that are successful.
That is true.
That is so true.
Only other big airship game I remember is. I don't apparently, geesh.
I remember this multiplayer airship game. It was like sort of steampunky. I forget what it was called.
It was because they're not brave enough to try new ideas.
I mean, like most open world games follow the same formula. Guns of
Yeah.
Icarus, that's what the game was called. But I don't know. I feel like that's what Breath of the Wild did really well. Its world was really pretty, and I want to emphasize that the most with this right here.
Clouds.
Shit, I'm gonna have to commission an image of this now.
That'd be cool.
Great. Now you got a lot on your table. You got Cecil. You've got Yasa.
I
You gotta pay your part for the wink wink, and now you gotta get an image of airships in the sky.
After Yasa, I'm going to get this. I need to find somebody who can draw a landscape or something.
This is like
That'd be hard.
awesome.
But I just want to be able to have this image and be like, this is concept of a game me and my friends designed. An image of something that will probably never be.
Yeah.
Damn. Shit. Now I have to. I'm in the mood to write characters for this setting now. I'm gonna be doing that as well.
Good.
Anything else you guys want to add to it? Any ideas? Gameplays? Mini games maybe?
Oh yeah, but there just need to be some mini games, but we haven't really specified combat at all.
That is correct. We should focus on regular combat. What's it called?
Yeah, like
person-to-person
hand-to-hand shit.
combat. I think there'd definitely be. It'd be like a third-person game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Third-person shooter with melee in it. We need a wide assortment of strange. Because they
Weapons.
probably would not have normal guns. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Oh no, definitely not.
Especially, I feel like there'd be a lot more guns focused on setting things on fire with the gas that's all around you.
You could set the atmosphere on fire. That would be terrifying.
Imagine, like, in an airship combat, you miss a shot and you light the cloud behind the airship on fire.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Or, like, you can do that as, like, a hazard to set an entire airship on fire.
Yeah.
We went back to the airship combat. We need regular combat. I'm thinking we have an assortment of different projectile weapons and hand-to-hand combat weapons.
I think it should be nice about a melee.
I think it should be more focused on melee combat than. I feel like guns themselves should be a rarity because most of these communities do not focus on war.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you probably wouldn't even encounter guns until the military section of the game,
Oh yeah.
and your characters would not even know what they are at first.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're first attacked, and you're seeing these cannons fire your airship, you don't even know what the hell that is. You've never seen that before.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying. Ooh, I can see it now. Just like blinding balls of light shooting through the clouds before you even see the airship. But
That does sound terrifying.
I also think there should be a perk system or something to level up off of to customize your character further without, like, for like abilities there'd be gadgets and stuff. Speaking of that, I can go back to the companion that you thought of, Josh, with the wings, and that'd be an optional ability for you to gain, to have wings to allow gliding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can change your loadout.
Good to me.
Yeah, I want more focus on melee combat though. Different, maybe like a parrying system and blocks and all that.
Yeah.
Dodge rolling.
Dark Souls, but on a blimp.
Gonna take this from Assassin's Creed, but I also think it'd be neat to have a bit of parkour, like going above the landscape of the blimps.
Yeah, running on top of buildings in the middle of the sky.
Yeah. That would be a very pretty sight. Because I feel like people would like want to climb up buildings and just sit up there and look around.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we have a third combat, the mini jet sections with those tiny scraggy jets that fight each other. That wouldn't be until the second section when you're in the military area. And now we'll get... So we have established the basics of regular combat. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get into airship combat. Different airship weapons. Y'all got any concepts?
Well, cannons. I think big flamethrowers would be cool too.
I have an idea of
What?
like a sound gun. Something that uses like a shockwave or something.
Ooh.
And I feel like for like defensive measures, you have like a fan thing that sort of starts swirling the clouds around you to obscure your blimp.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I really want like these like cones of fire. I guess it's sort of like a flamethrower, but more like a flaming harpoon thing.
Flaming harpoon.
Flaming harpoon.
Yeah.
That sounds much better as like a combo. Like you send out a harpoon and set it ablaze with the gases in the air.
That'd be cool.
Keeping a flaming harpoon inside your deck at all times would be quite difficult.
Yeah.
It's true. And I think
It's like when you have both of them equipped, you can do a combo attack.
flamethrower and the harpoon, like the harpoon on fire.
Burn the enemy to the ground. Ruthless.
And a different... I feel like there should be different... to the movement of the airship itself. Maybe like a... You can level up your airship along with how you level up yourself. Level up its maneuverability and maybe give it some abilities like a quick air burst to let it like move out of the way fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd say you could choose different sizes of airships, but maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe when you first leave, you get to pick which airship you take.
Nice.
And those airships will give different starting perks that you can build off of for later. Maybe you can bargain and trade airships, like switch communities.
Maybe that's a little bit too much.
Sounds good to me.
No, I think we'll just keep the tacking on like an airship fleet. You have like...
Oh, yeah, tagging on that fleet.
And if you're going the dictator route, they're roped to your airship. And if you're going the more gentle, democratic route, they just follow you.
Yeah.
And maybe some of them, depending on your relationship with some of them, if you get into combat, they might help you, or some of them might back off and stay out of it.
Yeah.
This would require some pretty decent AI.
It would.
think we got ourselves a amazing world with just a few characters in it. It's getting late, and it's also the longest episode to date.
Hey, we
I
could
guess
say
my
that.
presence just elongated it.
Yeah. Also, our lack of an episode last week got bonus length.
Bonus length. Well, the thing is, we're talking about that random shit at the beginning, but we only went off for like 20 minutes on that. This entire game idea has been going on for, I think, at least an hour, which
Yeah,
I am
pretty
Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
Very cool.
We left the water bottle in space a long time ago.
Yeah, that was like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like we should have another episode where we come back to this and focus more on the actual story of it. Remember
Yeah, a
that
couple
idea I
episodes
said
in.
where we build a story together?
Yeah.
We should do that for this setting. And sort of build a rough draft of the first section, the first 15 hours, the circus city. What do you guys think about that?
I
Sounds
think
good
it
to
sounds
me.
pretty cool. Pretty interesting.
All right. First and foremost, before we end this, I have to say this. This is our idea. Any
Yeah,
of you
don't
listening,
fucking steal it,
I will
assholes.
know if you steal this. I have
Sue
the
you.
timestamp.
Not really, though, because that's a lot of effort, but I'll say I'll sue you.
They're not going to take this because I'm writing this shit down.
Copyright
Write this shit
Endless
down.
Haze.
Are you calling the United States Patent Department as we speak?
You know, I might, but I'm gonna write this shit down. I know I'm gonna bug Josh because I talk about all my characters with him, and I'm gonna be like, Josh, look at this character I made for this endless haze. And you know what? Maybe I'll start drawing too. I'll draw the airships myself.
I wish I could
You know,
draw.
I have a friend who can draw really great airships.
You should tell them about this.
You should tell them about this.
Oh my god! Don't want to talk to people.
You're talking to people right now.
No, they're
No.
just listening to me.
I'm-
There's a difference.
I'm talking. I resent that.
You guys are my friends. I can talk to friends.
I'm just kidding.
Alright. I think we'll cut it off for now, guys. Definitely
Alright.
stay tuned for more. And thank you, Josh, for coming on today, helping with this wonderful
No
idea.
problem.
And I will see all you guys later. Ciao.
See ya.
Ciao.